up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
Just another incredible day. It's all about heroes. I mean, thanks for all the feedback that we had when we had Jason David Frank. Yeah, he's the Power Ranger guy. And also Tony Parker. Who's Tony Parker? He's the guy who's written for every single major comic book publisher there is. He's written and done and done all the artist work for so many. And also, of course, Matt Solberg. Who's he? Yeah, well, he's the one that's the CEO of Phoenix Comic-Con. And again, the feedback we've been getting from those three, continue to get them going. If you haven't heard those interviews, make sure you go to our website, Eliances.com, Eliances.com, because that's where we have them posted. And of course, it's where entrepreneurs align, and there's nothing more fun than interviewing startups, especially in the hero industry. And we've got Tony Kim. He is the CEO and founder of Hero Within, and you could reach him at herowithinstore.com. Now, first, let me describe Tony to you. He looks like Clark Kent. I mean, the guy really looks like Clark Kent. And when you hear what he's doing and how he's revolutionizing the clothing industry with heroes, it's so cool. So good morning to you, Tony. Now, Tony, tell me how you came up with the idea of Hero Within.
Oh, thanks for having me, David. The story is like many entrepreneurs. They're at a frustration, at a pain of being in many kind of corporate or professional settings and environments or events or like more nicer social settings and not having anything to wear that really reflected what I'm passionate about, which is fandom and pop culture. And, after searching, all we're left with is T-shirts and hoodies to kind of express who we are. And that I just couldn't stand for that. So after a lot of time and research, I felt like, I'm going to bring something to the market that's new and fresh and different, that's sophisticated, and something that fanboys can be proud of.
I mean, it is definitely new. It is definitely fresh. In fact, Tony, you dressed me. Now let's talk about what you dressed me with, because it is absolutely incredible, and the amount of compliments that I get is just phenomenal. So let's first talk about the blazer.
Sure. So the blazer was kind of the heart and soul of Here Within. I love blazers just because you can, again, look nice, but then you can also kind of be very casual with it, with jeans or T-shirt, and you can just kind of throw a blazer on. So very versatile, and that's very one of our core words for our company is empowerment. It's very empowering. And so we launched, when we first started Here Within, we started with a prototype of a blazer. That was a Superman blazer, and that was the impetus to kind of get the company off the ground. And then So, we wanted to create something that, again, is very subtle. We take like the Batman logo, it's integrated into the constructions of the seam of the jacket in the back. And then we also do this really striking interior as well. And, we want to create something that's very subtle, that if you are a fan, you'll love it. You'll think it's very cool and stylish. But if you're not, then you wouldn't really necessarily notice it's anything different. And so, because, you can't really wear and a lot of people, I get this all the time, a lot of people say, hey, I've always wanted to have a blazer that I could wear to work, but I can't wear anything that has big gaudy or garish logos on it. And so I've been searching for this my whole life. And so that's what I really wanted to create, was something that was subtle and empowering and sophisticated.
And that was what's so cool. It is literally subliminal. In other words, if you're not looking closely and you're not familiar with it, you won't recognize it. So picture this, audience, wearing a blazer, and then in the back, if you're staring at it, just glancing at it, you will see the cutout of the Batman, but it's not noticeable. You could wear it to business meetings. You could wear it out and about. Totally cool. Then you've got other things like the Iron Man leather-like jacket and just so many cool things. Now let's talk about, too, is Now, this is through DC Comics that you're
Yep.
actually, and this was interesting because when my son met you, the first thing he says is when he sees the Batman and Iron Man, he goes, "Dad, is that licensed?" And what was your response? Your response was, "Yes, it's
Yeah,
licensed."
heck yeah, it is licensed. And we had when we started a company a little over a year ago. It was I'm a DC fanboy at heart ever since I was a little kid, and so I knew that DC license was the one I had to go after. And so we launched the whole concept and all created the entire collection with just a hope and a dream that we could get the license. And so it was a little bit of a Hail Mary sort of play because there was no plan B. And so we were very fortunate that when we were able to get into the Warner Brothers offices, that they really loved our collection. They thought it was fantastic. They agreed that there was nothing like it in the market, that it was needed, and they were very supportive. And they've been awesome to work with, great partners, and I'm so grateful for them.
Now we're talking with Tony Kim. He is the CEO, the founder of Hero Within. You can reach him at herowithinstore.com, or of course you can go to our website, Eliances.com. That's ELIANCES.com. And you're listening to me, David Kogan, with the Eliances Hero Show. Be a hero. Go to where entrepreneurs align. Be part of the community. You may even have the chance to meet, I'm going to call you Clark Kent, but really Tony Kim at one of our round table, grand table, and many other experiences. In fact, Tony, I mean, it must have been just huge getting the license from Warner Brothers for the DC to be able to put and to be able to use and stuff their things. How, though? How did you get it? I mean, because so many people try to and yet aren't able to.
Well, long story short, basically because I had already been doing a lot of social media work over the years under my name, Crazy4ComicCon, and I did a lot of sort of just social work on promoting comic conventions and Comic-Con and geek culture. And I already had collaborated some with Warner Brothers on some special projects in the past over the couple years prior to that. And so fortunately, there was already enough awareness about my work that granted me, got my foot in the door with Warner Brothers. And so, it helps. I tell people all the time, tweets, do Instagram, like build a social media following, because you never know who's watching and it just by coincidence, the right person had already seen and was familiar with my work that got me into the room. And again, we did a great pitch, and the right people were in the room that could greenlight everything. And it just was, I could not have aligned the planets on my own. I just feel like it was a thing of destiny. And you hear all the time that it takes talent and it takes hard work, but it also takes a measure of luck to kind of get anything off the ground. And just the plans were aligned, and it just sort of happened quickly.
Like when you walked out of that meeting, were you just dancing through to the elevator?
Oh my gosh, yeah. My team and I, there was three of us. We were just trying to keep it composed. We were just trying to stay composed and say our goodbyes, and then go to the elevator and walk out in the parking lot. And we just try to get as much. It's a huge. Warner Brothers lot is gigantic, and so we had to get just far enough away to where we could cause a scene. And and we were on cloud nine for many weeks. So we still on cloud nine. So.
Now, if you were talking to a group of young fans at Comic-Con, okay, and they want to go into the industry in some sort of way, whether it may be doing comics, starting a business, some sort, and that, we've got a little less than a minute left in that, but what would you go about telling them? Because, you've had the ups and downs. I've seen some, your emails of what's been going on with some things regarding custom stuff and all that, but you got it all sorted out. But what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, I just think you have to. Obviously, be passionate. It's not an easy industry, and any sort of startup is tough. And so you just have to have a relentless, fierce commitment to what you're doing. And I tell people all the time, it's 8 days a week, 25 hours a day, and you just have to love that work. And then the other thing is that you have to create something that solves a specific problem, something that people love talking about, and something they want to share with their friends. And so just adding another widget or another sort of thing that's already in a saturated marketplace is not going to help you make a difference. And so, so I just think you need to create something that really people have never seen before and want to talk about, and they want to share with their friends.
Awesome. Well, Tony, new, fresh, you created something remarkable. You made comic heroes fashionable for men so anyone can suit up or dress up and be comfortable. Tony Kim, keep doing what you're doing. We can't wait to hear what's next. Reach him at HeroWithinStore.com. And again, this is David Kogan with Eliances. And when we return, you're going to listen to our next heroes, David Kogan with Eliances.